Welcome back to the PMU Entrepreneur Bible. If you found your way here, you're finding the secrets to accelerating your permanent makeup career now. And if you're listening to Chapter 3, go ahead and hit the subscribe and the like button to find more chapters when they are released. Chapter 3 is Picking a PMU Trainer. Finding the right permanent makeup or paramedical tattoo training and trainer is a very personal decision. First, start by seeking out an artist that showcases healed results similar to what you would like to eventually offer. There's an endless array of artists to choose from, so you'll usually gravitate towards individuals that match your vibe and interests. Depending on where you live, you may need to travel out of the state or country to take a permanent makeup training, either as a new or experienced artist. Before paying for any training, especially as a new artist, verify the training requirements in the county, state, or country that you live. When I got my eyebrows microbladed and realized I wanted to begin offering tattoo services of my own, I had gone to an artist a few hours away from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. After looking into the requirements to offer cosmetic tattoo training in Vermont, I sought out training programs near me. I found a training program for microblading and manual shading back in Montreal, Quebec. A month later, I traveled up to Canada for a 3-day training and completed 2 microblading models. I received a certificate of completion and returned home thrilled to begin my 40-hour licensed apprenticeship. Or so I thought. When I contacted the state board to find out the next steps, I was informed the course that I took did not meet the 60-hour or 5-day requirement for training that I would need to become a licensed artist in Vermont. My only option at that point was to take a new training and that the state would email me a list of approved trainings that met the requirement. At that point, I had already spent over $3,000 on a course and over $1,000 staying in Montreal for the week, only to find out that I couldn't use my new skill. I could have quit and saw that class as a failed attempt and a sign, but I am motivated by spite. At this point, I had been practicing PMU at home for almost 2 months and I was hooked. I was furious that I had to spend thousands more to travel to New York for a new training, but I knew that I would make that money back if I could get that damn license. Spoiler alert, I've made more money annually offering permanent makeup services in the last 3 years full-time than I ever did as a registered nurse. It's not difficult to make 6 figures a year offering permanent makeup services with the right marketing strategies in place. If I could go back in time before applying for that first permanent makeup training, I would have called the state first and found out about the state-approved training list. Unfortunately, this is a hard lesson that I had to learn, but looking back, I wouldn't have had it any other way, especially now that I mentor other women on how to get their tattoo license more easily. Once you've found the right training program for you, whether it be state required or not, it's time to interview the trainer. Become the FBI and do your research on this trainer. How long have they been training? How many students have they trained? What types of trainings do they offer? How many students are in each class? When was the last time they attended a training? Unfortunately, some artists are only training because they see there's good money there to be made. There are countless tales of permanent makeup students that feel they've gotten gypped after class didn't prepare them to offer the skill of the permanent makeup or paramedical tattoo service. Students may have felt that they were learning or receiving subpar tools that didn't help them accelerate on human skin. Not to mention, many artists don't realize that they're learning a whole new business venture, not just the techniques of tattoo. Don't be afraid to talk to the trainer and ask them why they're passionate about training. How often do they perform the services they're training students to perform? A good trainer will not be offended by these questions, and they will be able to easily supply the answers. Ask the trainer if the supplies they offer in the student kit are the same supplies that they use and would recommend. Does the training program come with an online or virtual hybrid component? Paper manuals are so last year, and since COVID, most trainers have moved to online modules where students can work at the comfort of their own home on their own time. Many trainers will also supplement with an ongoing community support Facebook page. Your trainer should never ghost you after a training. Your PMU trainer should be your biggest cheerleader as you start this new experience and continue to be a mentor as you grow and develop as an artist. You will accelerate faster and continue to grow in a community where knowledge is shared, so having a trainer that can connect you with past and future students in their program is a huge bonus. I didn't realize I had so many cautionary tales to share until I started putting down my thoughts on paper for this audiobook. But it should go without saying that you must avoid any casual training agreements that don't involve a contract and say clearly what your training will include upon completion. I recently received a call from a woman seeking brow training that had been working and training in her friend's studio on how to perform microblading and microshading of the eyebrows as well as lip blush. There was a falling out, and suddenly this woman had no place to work and no certificate to prove that she had trained in microblading and microshading of the eyebrows, despite having completed at least 6 clients independently at her former friend's studio. This woman was now seeking a second training because she had the opportunity to offer lip blush services at a new studio, but the owner was uncomfortable allowing her to perform brow services without having proof of a certificate to show that she had been trained to offer that service. While training contracts can be intimidating and cumbersome, they are meant to protect you as the student and the trainer if the terms of the agreement are not met. Most PMU trainings range in a few thousand to several $1,000s for a quality program and a kit. Take it from someone that spent thousands of dollars on a training that they couldn't use. You want to protect your investment in every way. If the trainer doesn't utilize course contracts to clarify what their professional obligations are to you, it may be assigned to interview another trainer. As a trainer that utilizes course contracts, I can verify that they have saved me from refunds that when I was able to prove that the student was given exactly what they were promised in the contract. It's crucial that you feel comfortable asking the trainer anything and receiving ongoing support so that you don't give up and feel discouraged. In the first trainings that I attended, 2 fellow students worked on their first independent client outside of class and gave up never to tattoo again. Both of these women expressed that they didn't feel comfortable performing such an intense service on their own and didn't want to continue to tattoo faces when the results and the responses of the clients were so subjective. Since my first 2 microblading trainings were in provinces and states that didn't require apprenticeships before becoming licensed and practicing independently, these women were working alone without the support of another tattoo artist present. While you can call your trainer and ask them anything before or after the treatment, once you're working with the client, you can't always step away and ask a question, nor will the trainer be available if they're working with their own clients at the same time. If it is an option, completing an apprenticeship with your trainer or another PMU artist, whether or not it is required for licensure, will only increase your comfort and efficiency as you progress as an artist. If you like Chapter 3 of the PMU Entrepreneur Bible, make sure you click subscribe and like so that you get announcements when we post Chapter 4. Make sure you leave a comment as well because we want to hear your feedback. See you in Chapter 4. Stay tuned.